Community Hotline is made possible with generous support by Gresham Ford, the dealer with a heart. The Contribute to the Community program provides the opportunity for the Gresham Ford team to make a positive impact, serving their customers and helping people across the community. And by the Mount Hood Cable Regulatory Commission. The Mount Hood Cable Regulatory Commission advocates on behalf of the public interest on communications policy issues at the local, state, and federal levels.
Hi, and welcome back to Community Hotline. I'm Monica Weitzel. We're here in Gresham at MetroEast Community Media. And now with me, I have Larry Smith, who is a MetroEast volunteer and very involved here and has been a producer here for over 25 years, right?
I think 32 years.
Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah,
Am I that old?
Right. No, you're not, because we're the same age, so I know you must not
we're
be.
young.
But you're also the chair of the Multnomah County Fair, right?
Yes.
And now you're here to represent the Portland Dahlia Society.
Yes.
And you are the co-chair of the Pacific Northwest Regional Dahlia Show.
You've got that perfectly, Monica.
Yes. Welcome, Larry. It's good
Thank
to have you back. So you brought some lovely pieces here for us to look at. These are gorgeous flowers. You know, it's the time of year for flowers, but it's been so hot. I can't believe you were able to keep these so beautiful.
Yeah, dahlias really, they thrive in the Puget Sound type. They are beautiful, fantastic.
Yeah.
They don't like weather much above 80 or 85 degrees, and we've been having like 20 degrees more than that. So I'm lucky to have anything.
It all.
These are the rejects as we tape this.
Oh my gosh.
These were what I picked dahlias to enter in the Clark County Fair. Mm-hmm. And these were the ones that didn't make the cut. So
and they're beautiful. They're absolutely gorgeous. So tell me a little bit about the Portland Dahlia Society. Why is there a society for this, and what exactly do you do?
The Portland Dahlia Society is basically a way for people who are interested in growing dahlias to meet and learn more about dahlia culture, growing dahlias, the different types of dahlias, and the social aspect as well is very nice.
That's probably
with
a big
the club.
part of it. Yeah. People that are gardeners, you know, they like to meet other people doing the same thing.
Right.
And I know you grow amazing flowers and have for years. These surprised me. I would not have guessed that these were all dahlias. Now, some of them, they're real tight, like that tight white one there, and then some of these others. But these, for example, the ones that are, you know, sort of like star-shaped, and well, not really star-shaped, but they have the, you know, less petals on them, fewer petals on them. That's what I'm trying to say, fewer petals. I would not have guessed those were dahlias.
Those are called disc flowers.
Okay.
Because they have a single row of petals, and there are several types, even that there are 20 recognized forms of dahlias now, and probably as we go on, there will be more forms introduced. But some of these, you can see right here, this is the newest variety. It's called Orchette. It's a cross between an orchid type that has the tightly incurved pointed petals and a collarette type that has the little collar around inside the disc around the center of it. It's kind of a mixture, so they named it the Orchette.
How cute.
And it's the 20th variety, and that variety, much to my surprise, I took to the national show in Tacoma in 2014, and it won Best in Show.
Wow.
Which was one of my, I didn't even think it would ever happen, so I didn't even put it on my bucket list to get Best in Show at the national show.
Wow.
So it'll always be one of my favorites.
I can imagine. I love it.
It's called Fancy Pants, though. And so once I won that award, people started calling me Mr. Fancy Pants, and I don't particularly, don't you say, she's going to haunt me with that forever, I just know.
You know I will. You know I will.
Oh boy.
So you have beside you here a gorgeous trophy filled with flowers, and I was looking at it here, and this is from 2007 through 2016. This is for what? What is this award for?
This is the award for the best of show of the open center disc type blooms, and I tend to grow, as you can see, many different varieties of those, and I've kind of specialized in those.
Well, your name is on there like 5 out of 8 times, I think, or something like that. you've won more than anybody else, it looks like, in the last, 7, 8 years.
And what's crazy is I started growing these types because there wasn't a whole lot of competition, which is, that has changed. And so now everybody is working really hard and doing really well. And so I probably won't have my name on that trophy very many more times.
So when people go to the meetings, you have regular meetings then for the Dahlia Society?
Yeah, and most months on the second Tuesday of the month.
Okay.
At the Rose City Park United Methodist Church in the basement, we will meet at 7:30
in the morning,
and have
or
in the evening,
Oh, okay.
not in the morning, and have a meeting where there's an informational topic every month. For like August, we had a program just this week regarding Dahlia shows and how to get ready
Okay.
for anybody who's wanting to enter their dahlias. And
Do most of the people who come to these meetings enter and show their flowers?
I would say maybe about a quarter to a third.
Oh, really? I'm
And
surprised.
then
I would think it'd be more than that.
We try to suck in other people because it makes for a better show, and it seems like every year we get a few curious people. A member that just joined 2 years ago showed for the first time last year, Nathan Payne, young guy, 30 years old. He got a Best in Show
Right off
at
the bat,
one of the American Dahlia Society shows.
You were jealous, weren't you, Larry?
Well, I just think, how many years did it take me to get a Best in Show? And he kept, the day before the show, he would send me a picture of what he'd picked and say, my dahlias look like, I won't even put the extra. He's very critical, and there's all these problems. And then he wins Best in Show and got a lot of other special awards. So
wow.
Some people are just superstars.
I guess so. Tell me, are dahlias difficult to grow?
I wouldn't say difficult to grow. They don't like the hot weather. They weren't real happy during the cold, wet spring that we had.
Okay, this is what I remember about dahlias. When I moved into a house in North Portland in early 80s, but we bought a house that my husband's grandmother had owned. Grandmother and grandfather had lived there, and they had beautiful dahlias. But I was, a young mom with a couple kids, and I was working, and I didn't have time to deal with the flowers, and they didn't keep growing every year like I thought they would. There's things you need to do with them, right? You can't just let them go dormant during the winter, can you?
They're not a native plant, so
Right.
you have to make sure they are watered. They like a lot of water.
Right.
And
I think they were there for the first couple of years, but then after that, they weren't anymore.
a lot of people do leave them in. Last winter, there were a lot that froze, but usually the danger here is if you cut them off, getting water down in the stalk, and then that can get down there and rot the tubers at the eye. They're a tuber like a potato.
Okay,
The
so
next
it's
year's
not
crop
you don't
grows
grow them
from
by
an eye.
seed. You don't grow them from.
You can grow them from seed. You
Really?
can hybridize them, but
And you don't grow them from a bulb. They're a tuber.
they're a tuber. And a tuber, the beauty of a tuber is you'll put in one little tuber, and at the end of the year, if you dig them up, you get a whole huge clump. And so there's many divisions there, and you can have several divisions and have several plants off of the one
So you
tuber.
dig them up, you divide them,
Yeah.
and then you put them somewhere. Is that right? I mean, like in a basement or something
Yeah.
like that. Because I remember somebody I knew doing that with like newspaper, and then maybe newspaper over it. I can't remember what it was they did, but that just sounded like a lot of work to me. And then you have to replant them
more
again.
work than a lot of people want to do.
Yeah. I like those ones that just come back and I can just deadhead them or whatever.
Right.
But I love seeing them. They're absolutely gorgeous. So that gives me a little more appreciation for the flowers.
You can
knowing
let
that
somebody else.
do.
You can let us grow them.
I'll
We'll
let you
bring
grow them,
to
and I
you.
just enjoy them. And I was trying to think. I was thinking about this. I remember driving south, like to Eugene or Corvallis or someplace on I-5. Are there dahlia fields along I-5 corridor? Do you remember? I remember seeming to see like farms, dahlia farms. Are there some down there?
We're this area is kind of a hotbed, and actually the whole Pacific Northwest for growing dahlias. The climate north of here is actually more ideal, but they do grow well in the Oregon down the valley.
In the valley, yeah. So is there a pretty good demand for them as cut flowers, or what do people buy them for? I mean, if there's a farm, is it for cut flowers?
There are a lot of places that do have sell dahlias for cut flowers.
Yeah.
I like them outside. I don't want them in a vase.
Yeah.
I'll bring them in a vase for a
love them in
show
a
or
vase,
for
yeah.
things like that, but I
just like them
don't
outside.
bring them inside or arrange flowers.
So
A lot of people do like them inside.
Yeah, I just like flowers, period. I don't care if they're inside, growing outside, or what. I love them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tell me what do you personally get out of doing this kind of thing, of all the gardening? Because you've been on here before talking about the Multnomah County Fair, and you've brought on some great pieces of vegetables and things that you've been growing. And what do you personally get out of cultivating these flowers? I mean, I remember being here years ago when I first started working here, and every once in a while there'd be this gorgeous bouquet of dahlias on my desk, and it was such a nice treat. What do you get out of it?
Yeah, we bring them in for my show to decorate the set.
For your exercise and
the show that I do here. And so it's just what I got into it is because my grandparents, when I was growing up, had a big area of dahlias, and were so proud of them. And I'd go out there. They lived on Mount Scott, a pretty nice area.
Yeah.
But they were from the Depression, so Grandma would invite me up to go out and tear up old shirts and things and use the rags to tie them up so they wouldn't fall over. So I helped them care for their dahlias.
Another thing you have to do for the dahlias.
Yeah, you have to tie them up. You can pinch them back though when they're about a foot high when they first start coming up, and I do that, and then they branch out and you get more blooms later.
Oh wow!
Takes a little longer.
Yeah.
But you do get more blooms later.
You see, you kind of do it in like memory of your grandparents, but you've carried that on.
And then since I've joined the Dahlia Society, I took a judging course and I'm now a senior judge with the American Dahlia Society. And so I go around to the different shows in the Northwest and judge the other people's flowers. I can't judge my own if I come along
You can't, and there you are with, is this?
That's my garden. Actually,
Wow.
That's not this year. They're not blooming quite like that.
Those are huge.
Yeah, there are some large there.
I don't know if it's just the angle, but it looks like they're bigger than your head.
And that's right, Parkland Rave. That's the flower of the year for the Pacific Northwest show this year. That's coming up later in August, the 26th and 27th.
Okay. Oh, look at
And that's
those.
some flowers getting ready to go to the show. That's Christy Parks, a member in Southern Oregon. These were her rejects. They look
Those
better
are her
than the
rejects?
things.
Oh, wow.
She has an amazing field in Azalea, Oregon, where she also hybridizes and sells dahlias.
Dahlias and
So
azalea.
It's just absolutely
No azaleas
amazing.
and dahlia? No.
There must be azaleas down there too.
I would think so.
But we like the dahlia, which is the way the English pronounce it.
Dahlia? Oh, I've never heard it pronounced that way. Well, they pronounce a lot of things
Yeah.
differently than we do, don't they? So the Pacific Northwest Regional Dahlia Show, you said, was the 26th and 27th. That's at Oaks Park?
That's at Oaks Park. Free parking, free admission. You can't beat that.
Hey, that's a great thing.
In the dance pavilion.
Okay, yeah, I've been there. So what can people expect when they go there? There's just lots and lots of dahlias to look at?
You're going to see hundreds of dahlia blooms competing for best in show. And all shapes, all sizes, from the giant ones that people, I don't know why they ever call them dinner plate, but the ones that I've grown them as big as 14 inches around,
That's a big
14
dinner
inches
plate.
across, to the little tiny, there's a couple there,
the little teeny
they call
ones
them
are
the
so cute.
micro, they're 2 inches or less. And dahlia arrangements, there's a category for nosegays, there are what they call baskets, which is kind of a formal arrangement.
Yeah.
And you can also ask the experts about any question about dahlia culture.
Okay.
We'll be selling cut flower blooms for a very nominal fee. Those will be our rejects that we donate so we can make a little extra money for our club to help support the show.
So if you want to go down there and you just want some flowers for, decorate your home or give them to somebody you care about, that's a great place to go get some.
Yeah, on Sunday, if anybody wants to come by, that's the 27th. After 3 o'clock, we will be giving away the blooms that were in the show for anybody who wants to carry home an armload of dahlias for free.
Oh, I have to remember this. I have to go make a note of this, Larry. Before we run out of time, are there more things coming up that we should know about, other shows after this, or is that about the end of the season then?
Well, every year we have an annual show in Portland, just our local show. We're lucky enough to host the Northwest show this year.
Okay.
But there are shows up and down. If a viewer's watching from, say, the Eugene area or up north in Olympia, there's a show down in Roseburg. There's shows all up and down the different areas. All you have to do is probably look on an internet search, American Dahlia Society, and you can find out the different local shows.
Okay. And last thing, if people want to start growing them themselves and they want to get some tubers, where's the best place to get those?
Probably one of the best places. We have a sale in April the 2nd Tuesday of April of every year.
Okay.
And it's at 6:30 at the Rose City Park United Methodist
where you have
Church.
your
And then we also have a booth at the Master Gardener Sale in Canby, which is the first weekend in May.
And people can buy them there.
Absolutely.
And does that help support your organization?
It helps support the organization. Most of them are $3 a piece, so it's really a bargain.
That's a good deal.
We want
Okay.
to suck people in.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much, Larry.
Well, thank you, Monica.
Thank you for bringing in these gorgeous flowers that really brightened up our show tonight.
Very good.
Okay, thanks for watching this segment of Community Hotline. We'll be right back in just a moment, so don't go away.
Community Hotline is made possible with generous support by Gresham Ford, the dealer with a heart. The Contribute to the Community program provides the opportunity for the Gresham Ford team to make a positive impact, serving their customers and helping people across the community. And by the Mount Hood Cable Regulatory Commission. The Mount Hood Cable Regulatory Commission advocates on behalf of the public interest on communications policy issues at the local, state, and federal levels.